Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Daniel Grunert, and today I would like to discuss with you the difference between an emergency intervention to prevent a death and regaining your health and balance. So the best way to illustrate this is what I call the fire department analogy. So first you have to understand that medicine is the fire department, and for this analogy, of course, the house is your body, mind, and soul, all in one, okay? So what happens if your house is on fire? Who do you call? You call the fire department. Well, what is the fire department going to do once they arrive? Well, they're going to use the tools that they have available to them, which are axes and fire hoses, drugs and surgery. So they get out of their trucks, they smash in your windows with their axes, they kick in your front door, and then they cut into your walls. They bring their fire hoses in and then spray down all your cherished belongings. And if they got there in time and didn't make any mistakes, they will save the life of your house. And for that, that's the truth. And for that, we should be grateful. Okay, but what's left over once you had the fire? What's left over? An absolute mess. Now, would anybody think that it would be logical to call in the fire department the next day to put that house back to homeostasis, balance, and proper working order? You know, does anybody really think the same expertise that it took to put out that fire, that same expertise would be able to put that house back into working order? Absolutely not. But the medical system has you believing that you can only judge a healthcare practitioner based on whether or not they can put out fires, or save a life in a crisis, or treat a disease. They never really ask the question of the importance of people that have the ability to move a person's body back towards health and balance. They don't do any research in that area. They don't even ask that question, okay? And that's the problem, because we're over here in chiropractic saying, well, we don't want to put out fires. We don't look very good with our paintbrushes and our hammers in a towering inferno. But however, if you were to maintain the health of that house, make sure that there's proper electrical wiring, to paint the walls, to clean the gutters, as to maintain the health of that house, to make sure that it's a comfortable, beautiful or handsome place to live in, well then now how do those axes and fire hoses look? Ridiculous. That's why, medicine will never get you thinking in terms of regaining your health. They always put their investment dollars in fear of disease. They say, well, do you know how many people die of diseases every year? Do you know how many houses burn down? And we're like, well, yeah, we know how many houses burn down, but they don't have to burn down. Houses don't just spontaneously combust. And they say, well, yes, they do. It's genetic. They now try to get you to believing that you have no hope, that somehow you are genetically pre-programmed to develop heart disease, diabetes, cancer. I mean, it's the most absurd notion ever, because, they don't say the same thing for your dog or a monkey or any other animal on this planet. It's only human beings that are just somehow genetically predisposed for all these diseases. And even if you believe in Darwin's theory of evolution, what's supposed to happen over time? Are our genes supposed to get better or worse? They're supposed to get better. So where's the mutation? What happened? Over just the past couple decades, cancer rates, diabetes, obesity, you name it, has expanded exponentially. So where's the mutation? Okay. Now they can even still do studies that will absolutely prove that spraying down houses once a week will prevent fires. And I'm like, yeah, but they rot. And they're like, yeah, but they don't start on fire. I'm like, yeah, but they're rotting. And they're like, well, they don't start on fire. And it's back and forth, it's ridiculous. So all I'm saying is, why don't we replace, spraying down houses once a week or filling people's bodies with pharmaceuticals with teaching people how to eat, move, and think properly? Well, then you got to study. Guess how many of those they are willing to do? 0. Now, I am going to show you over the next year, some research that somebody somehow slipped in there, and guess who wins? Lifestyle, every single time. Every single time when you do a study on eat, moving, and thinking, it wins hands down in the prevention of disease. So thank you very much.